advance against royalties. Maybe I just learned how to spell. I don't know what it is.
Actually, the typing you're doing is not showing now.
Can you see it yet?
No.
Can you see the screen called royalty transaction entry?
There we go. There we go.
Okay. So we have an internet slowdown deal there.
Yeah.
Advance against royalties, you know, just like that. So we can put in all kinds of different transactions. You can create all kinds of transactions as you want. This is an advance, so this is actually should have been negative. So there's a negative amount so that it would actually subtract from any positive sales and calculations, I mean, for that particular period. So this $2,000 actually is netted against the royalty due that royalty author for that book for that period.
That's another ooh and ah.
Say again?
That's another ooh and ah.
Oh, good. And then, of course, if that particular product, so if that particular product is negative for this period, well, that negative amount goes into a place where it's saved, and then for the next period it comes forth again without you having to do anything for it. Just shows back up on your statement.
And it's just for that period of time.
It is recorded in the original period on the statement, and then if it generates a negative amount due for that product for that period, that negative amount due is brought forward to the next period until it's paid for or cleared.
Exactly.
Yes. So I hope I answered your question.
You did.
All right. So I'm going to update that and get out of there. Now I'm going to now I want to show you something transaction processing, transaction reports. We want to look at a report called the posted sales by recipient or by product. Now, we also have a unposted sales exceptions report. Let me show you this one quickly first. And this is, we've now calculated the monthly, and here is this report.
Right.
I just wanted you to, well, let me see this. I'm kind of tough because it messes up our screen a little bit. So, at any rate, here is a detailed calculation report, and so it shows the payee, the name, the product title, the invoice number it came from. If that comes from Ingram, good, bad, or different. If not, we actually generate one so that you can reference the particular period and the specific details. Here's the invoice posted date. Here's the type of a line item it was. Mostly, in the case of imports, it's either going to be if it's got value, if it has a value to it, either plus or minus, it's called regular. If it has no value and the extension is 0 as a complementary, there would be a C here, so you'd see that. Well, here, look at, it's going to net. The red number means it was a credit memo. The black number means it was a positive sale. So
yeah.
At the end of the day, we can continue to move over line C, original quantity, calculated line amount, quantity, royalty category. Here's the break level. You saw that kind of in that the rate schedule. Break quantity, calculation method, net line amount, any POD costs coming out of it. Here's the royalty factor, and here's the amount due. So we can actually tie the statement right back to the specific lines, so that you can do many things here now. One, you can just, this is not intended by us for you to send it to your author. If you wish to do so, your choice. What this is intended is so you have a way to go and audit what the calculation is, and you can see the detail, and you can say, Les, this stuff's no good. It's not working right. There's a problem. It's not bringing in my doodah. It's blah, 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 whatever it is. Or it's very good. It works great. I love it. And that number 1272.68 actually shows up on the statement for that product. And now I have a tie to that in the calculation audit trail that you may need to prove the sales were what they were.
Nice, nice.
Now what we can do for you too is we save this historical data big time, so that in down the road, if you need to go back and reproduce this report for a particular period of calculation, you can do that.
Right.
The same thing is true for the statement. You can reproduce the statement for some prior period by just saying, I want to see what the statement was. Please show me the statement on the screen for last quarter ending December 31st of 2007, 2008, whatever it is.
Okay.
Okay, and then once that is done, once we do the calculation, then we have one other chore to do. We have to go make sure we have no errors. Come on. Errors. If we have errors, they show up on this report for that calculation period.
Good.
And if there are, it actually tells you what the error is and why it occurred and how to fix it. So it's obvious that if it says no royalty contract, there's a problem because you've actually turned on the switch and the product says calculate royalties. But it went out to calculate them, no contract.
Right.
It might say no royalty rate table. So that means the rate table wasn't set up or can't find it or something's improper. Or we have a royalty category that didn't have a rate table set up for that category. So it does all those kinds of things to make sure that every line item is accounted for from the import.
Good checks and balances.
Yes. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's pretty much the, well, we have some other reporting we can do and whatnot for, this is actually the methodology by which you go through the process of generating statements. Additional royalty reporting. There's some month-end processing when you have the iPUB system you can do.
Okay.
There's some inquiries. You can go look at prior statements and prior period contract calculations, and you can review the impact upon royalties by a recipient. In other words, you can see what, basically that's just nothing more than to see what that recipient's done in the last period, similar to a statement.
That's good.
So, contract maintenance is a single execution. Now what we have here is we can also in the contract, I'm going to bring this contract up again, just we misspelled it, but it's probably going to still find it. It did.
Okay, good.
So this contract actually has the ability to generate some general ledger information that you could report, print out, since we're not interfacing probably to any GL system at this point. You can actually get a total of what the calculation was. You can get it off that other report, or you can actually break it out into GL account numbers for your booking to your general ledger for expense and liability.
Okay.
That's a sort of an advanced thing to do.
Yeah.
If you need to do it that way, that's great. And if not, you can just take it right off those reports and do your booking as you would normally do. So, questions? We kind of come down to the end of this real quick, and any questions?
I'm sure there will be many, but they're